Single dad pretends to be a cleaner in his billionaire mother's company to find true love. The moment David pushed his cleaning cart across the shining marble floor of his billionaire mother's headquarters, everyone looked through him as if he didn't exist. Expensive shoes walked past him without a second glance. Powerful executives ignored him. Wealthy clients barely noticed him. But David wasn't there to clean the floors. He was searching for something money had never been able to buy, someone who could love a simple man instead of a billionaire's son. After years of heartbreak, betrayal, and raising his little daughter alone, he made a decision that would change his life forever. Before we continue, if you believe kindness deserves a second chance and that true love should never be judged by wealth or appearance, please like this video, comment where you're watching from, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel, Kindness Echoes. Your support helps us bring more heart-touching stories like this. David had once lived the glamorous life everyone dreamed about. Luxury cars, private jets, designer suits, and endless business meetings were all part of his world. As the only son of billionaire businesswoman Margaret Lawson, he was expected to inherit one of the country's largest companies. But behind the success was a painful story. His wife had married him for his wealth, and the day their daughter Lily was born, their marriage slowly began to fall apart. When she finally left, she walked away with another wealthy businessman, proving that money had been her only love. David was left with a broken heart and a little girl who depended on him for everything. Margaret watched her son become quieter each passing year. She saw how Lily filled his lonely days with laughter, but she also knew that deep inside, David had stopped believing in real love. One evening she quietly suggested something unusual. Instead of searching through wealthy social circles, why not see how people treated someone they believed had nothing? At first David laughed at the idea, but the more he thought about it, the more it made sense. If someone could respect a cleaner, maybe they could truly love the men behind the uniform. The following Monday, David arrived wearing a gray maintenance uniform with a simple name tag. His expensive watch was gone. His luxury car stayed at home. Even his hairstyle was different. Nobody recognized the billionaire heir. Employees hurried past him without greeting him. Some complained about tiny messes as though he wasn't human. Others dropped trash near him without apology. Every day reminded him how differently the world treated people based on appearance. Then he met Emma. Emma worked as a project coordinator. She wasn't rich, and she wasn't trying to impress anyone. Every morning she smiled warmly at the cleaning staff. She thanked them for their hard work and often helped elderly visitors carry heavy bags instead of walking away. She remembered everyone's names, including David's fake identity, and she never acted superior. When she noticed him skipping lunch one afternoon, she quietly shared half of her homemade meal without expecting anything in return. David accepted with gratitude, deeply touched by such simple kindness. As weeks passed, their friendship grew naturally. Emma often spoke about her late father, who had worked as a janitor his entire life. She said dignity wasn't measured by someone's salary but by the kindness in their heart. Those words stayed with David long after she walked away. For the first time since his painful divorce, he found himself smiling without forcing it. Meanwhile, trouble was growing inside the company. A dishonest executive was secretly stealing millions through fake contracts, believing nobody would notice a cleaner walking through the offices every evening. While pushing his cleaning cart, David accidentally discovered confidential documents left on a conference table. He quietly gathered enough evidence without revealing who he really was. When the annual shareholders' meeting arrived, the luxurious ballroom filled with investors, executives, and business leaders. Emma attended as part of the organizing team. She froze in disbelief when the humble cleaner she had shared lunch with walked confidently onto the stage beside Margaret Lawson. The room fell silent as Margaret introduced David as her son and the future leader of the company. Gasps echoed across the hall. The same executives who had ignored him suddenly lowered their heads in embarrassment. David presented the evidence exposing the corrupt executive, saving the company from enormous financial loss. Applause filled the room, but David's eyes searched only for Emma. He feared she would think he had lied to her from the beginning. Instead, Emma simply smiled with tears in her eyes. She wasn't upset that he was rich. She was hurt that life had made him believe he needed to hide who he was to find someone genuine. She understood his pain because she had spent her own life watching people judge others by their job titles instead of their hearts. David later introduced Emma to little Lily. The young girl immediately felt comfortable around her because kindness is something children recognize without explanation. Emma never tried to replace Lily's mother. She simply became someone who listened, cared, and loved without conditions. Slowly, the broken family began to heal. Margaret watched from a distance with grateful eyes. Her greatest business achievement had never been building a billion-dollar company. It was helping her son discover that true wealth could never be counted in bank accounts. It was measured in trust, compassion, loyalty, and the people who stayed beside you when they believed you had nothing. If this story has touched your heart, please take a moment to like, share, comment, and subscribe to Kindness Echoes. Your support allows these inspiring stories of hope and kindness to reach more people around the world. Special request: before this story ends, comment below with one word that describes what true love means to you. We'd love to read every single response. David entered the company pretending to clean its floors, but in reality, he was cleaning away the illusion that money creates happiness. In the end, he didn't find someone who loved a billionaire. He found someone who loved a hard-working father, a humble man, and a kind heart. And sometimes, that is the richest ending life can ever give.